Hey guys, today we're gonna be going over just how to get your helmet or head, wherever you want to put in your character's head, into Blender. Then from there, we're gonna discuss how to put it into the new Forger workshop, and then from there, my next videos will be on how to add it to stuff and such. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure you own Reforger. That's basically what you need to own. Once you own Reforger, you can add the tools and such. So that's what we're gonna open up. Reforger Tools. We have it here. What you want to do is you're gonna want to create new. Don't need any dependencies except for Arma Reforger. I want to name it, let's say, test helmet or videos. I'll name my project. Delete these in the Blender. I'm gonna wait for this to open up. Alright. Before we do anything in Blender, we're gonna set everything up in Fusion. What we're gonna do. Alright. So we get this big menu. You don't know what to do here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to test helmet for video, or wherever you named your project. Make a new folder. You're gonna call it assets. How Reforger works is you're gonna have to copy the folder structure. So just make a new folder called assets. And so we're going to be replacing helmet or hat. We'll just do the M70. So what we'll do is we'll go to Prefabs, Characters. Then from Characters, we're going to go to Headgear. Headgear, we can choose any of these we want. For now, let's check the M70, which is just the IFA helmet or hat. So what you want to do is you want to override it, you want to duplicate it. This is override's going to take the model in game, and I don't know what it is. I haven't tested it yet. Duplication is to make your own hat. So let's name it test hat. So now look over here. It made a new folder called prefabs and did all this. So what we see is we need characters and headgear. So what we do from here is in assets, make a new folder called characters. Make sure to follow the names correctly. Then headgear. And then you can make, and here you can make whatever folder you want. So I'm gonna name it test hat, so you can sort what your stuff looks like. Nothing's gonna be in here. So that's there. That's all done. So now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Blender. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys real quick what I'm gonna give out. I'm gonna give out, where is it? It's desktop. At 20 desktops. Give out this body. This is the Reforger body I used for sizing. This is from the blend file. All this does is it lets you. It's gonna be an FBX. It's gonna do is you can resize how much. This is exactly what's looking in the game. So we're gonna work with FBX. So I have really a lot of stuff. Let me see what I have here. I'll just do my high cut NVGs. I have permission from real quick. So this is a mod I've already put out there currently in the workshop. We come back soon. So delete that. There shouldn't be any of this crap here, so I'm gonna go back in. So don't need all that right now. Don't worry about that. Rest of your model. So you put your model in the game, or you put it in Blender. You know, make sure your object smoothing is on. If not, there is it might auto smooth, which I believe is somewhere. There it is. Under where is it? I just do it. Auto normal to be auto smooth. So mine's already smoothed and everything, so it's done. This is the best it's gonna get. So now, after you put your stuff in, you're gonna want to size it up. So the FBX I gave out, I'll be giving out the body. You see, I already sized it up. Let's say it's gigantic, like how it is right here. So say it was like this. What you're going to do is you want to just take your time, move around in Blender. I usually just move it all the way to the bottom, transform it, and then just from there you would size it up, make sure the head. One little tip I can give is that, let me zoom in, my mouse is messed up, is to leave a little bit of back room on the back side of the helmet, because there's, I think, a couple different heads in Arma, and one of them is really thick in the back of it, which causes a lot of issues with all the other helmets working. But this one would be like this. It'll be clipped sort of through. So you want to fix. You can't really fix it and just do one helmet at a time. You have to kind of pray that you don't get the head half the time. So after that's all done, you can just delete the body. So you have your floating helmet, all that sort of stuff. So I should delete these real quick. From there, so you wanted to import an FBX, and so I'll be providing the link to the stuff as well. But the sample characters. So what we're gonna do is we want to have the sample headgear template or example. So you have all this stuff right here. At the moment, you don't need the skeleton. I'll be providing this fixed skeleton that's made by Quebec because this skeleton's apparently broken in terms of some stuff in the recording. So all you really need from this helmet pack is the LOD 0. So that has the weight paint you're going to be needing. So delete all that till you get just the Arma 3 sample helmet and then your helmet. So what we're going to do, so you see there's facial, jaw, head, neck. So you don't really need to worry about the facial jaw unless you have a chin strap on your helmet. That's the only thing you need to worry about. But what you should do is you should maybe kind of size it up. So this is pretty good, like sort of matching. Just kind of like do your best to size it up. From there, what you're gonna do is you want to click on the helmet right here. Shift click on this helmet when you want to be transferring the weights to. Weight paint, transfer weights. At the bottom, transfer mesh data. Source layer selected by name. This will add all these right here. So now you can just delete this helmet. I'm gonna delete this group, that should be there. So now your helmet's been quote unquote automatically weight painted. You can just go to weight mode, you can see it's all set up now. So that's all done. I've already had it. I figured out that it was that and stuff. You might want to make like these kind of communication has these like contacts. You want to make sure that's on the head. I won't change it for now. But don't have it like made up to the facial jaw because it'll go up and down unless you want it to be like that. As I said, this is all you can edit all this. It's pretty easy. I'll show that in the video. That's it's weight painted now. There's a way to tell if stuff's not weight painted when you get in game, but that's done. So this is the skeleton. I'll just put it on a helmet I have, which has the skeleton, but the skeleton will just be literally. So that's it. So now you have a skeleton. This will be the skeleton I'll be giving out. The skeleton, your helmet's outside the skeleton in entity position. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Don't mess with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take your helmet right now. It's simple as this. You want to shift drag or shift click drag into the drop set parents. So now it's in the root. So you want to go into the root, click on your helmet up here at the top. You want to just make sure there's no modifiers, make armature modifier, object, root. So now it's connected to the root. So whenever I move the skeleton, it's going to move around with it. So that's good. So from there, you're basically done. And it's from setting up right here. Literally any piece of gear you make is done like this. It's just weight painting it, sizing it up, attaching it to a skeleton, rooting it, and you're set. And you can put it into Reforger. So after we're done with this, I'm gonna export it. Oh god. You can export as an FBX. So I'm gonna my desktop. I'm gonna call this the test hat. It's hat, but it's a helmet. So what we want to do before you do anything, make sure custom properties right here is checked. Armature has no added leaf bones. Make sure this is not a thing. This is important. These two are important. You want to export. So let's export it now. So we're going to go back to Infusion. So now we have your test hat right here. We'll take your FBX, drag it in there as a model. So it's going to give it a minute. Alright, now it's there. So you see your XOB, that's good. There's data. You want to double click on your XOB. So you can see it, it's probably faced around the other way, but don't worry about that. So what we're going to do now, make sure the materials are set up correctly, what you want. Import settings. This is the big thing. Export skinning, re-import resource. There is a max amount of bones that this model needs for it to work. Not just be T-posed on your model. So see, this is an issue right here. I don't know what it's doing, but I'll have to go recheck. But if you have over 234 bones, you're in a bad place. There's just too many bones. Actually, this is good to shut up. So you can't use this in game. If I use this in game, it would just be floating above my head. So I need to go back. I'll just quickly do it real quick on how I do other stuff. I'll run through this real quick. You can use a lot of the skeletons. I think that one was just one of the bad ones. I used a lot of different ones for stuff. I use one of my older cap stuff. Let's run through this real quick. That might just be an issue with this stuff. So now if you ever have issues like that, you can just delete this. Save the data folder because that'll have your textures. Just delete this, then re-import it. Then we're gonna do your test hat. Just make sure my mic's on. I'm scared that I've had videos where it just doesn't work. So now I'll just go back to what I was doing. Export, import. Let it do its magic. Alright, so now we're good. This is good. So with the head's at best gonna be 3 plus 160. If it's over that, I don't know then. That's not supposed to be. There can be a max of 163 bones for it to work in game. If you go over, so it might be like 25 plus, was it 125? If they add up to 163, you're set to go. Because these are bones that are weight painted and used in the skeleton is what it's just telling you. So this is set up right here. This is good to go. So now what you want to do? Actually, before we do anything, you want to make a ground model. So I'm gonna delete all these. Just keep my helmet right there. What I want to do is I want to take this, drag it all the way down, just transform it, drag it all the way down. Just kind of line up how you want it to look like on the floor. So right now it's not a big deal, so we're just putting it on the floor. You want to transform it. What you do is you want to make, there's different, it'll be in the Discord, you can find it. But for now, I usually use the cube. I make a cube. I size it down to like right around there. I transform it. You name it. For cubes, you name it UCX _ and then I'm going to name it test helmet. It can be anything you want. So now this is a collider. This is how you're going to be able to pick it up in game. So now we can export that. I'm going to name it test ground. Export. This is will be the picture it uses. So it's in here now. So you're just going to take that test ground helmet, pop it in there as the same thing. You don't need to do any importing on the side with this. It works instantly like that. This is our test helmet. It won't. So with materials in the terms of those, I won't put any materials in this model for now because it'd just be too much time to go through with that. You don't need this. So it works. The ground helmet will work off anything from this helmet, so you don't have to make new materials. But these are the main hat and everything. The only thing with helmets is that you'd go through this like normal. You just put your BCRs, your NMOs, you just do all that type of stuff. But opacity, it has to be. Look up. It has to be this head clipping _ A. It has to be that so you don't see it in game in front of your face. Scroll down, allow user alpha base, and disable it. Those two will make sure your helmet's not seen in game. It's not causing you issues. You want to do that for anything that's going to be on the head. So I'll do it for this one also. This is the night vision. Make sure that's done. Double click. Save. You can do Control Shift Save. It's a force save. I do it all the time. So now we have your ground helmet and your rigged helmet. So now we're going to go to your prefabs right here. So this is your new helmet in game. So double click on it. See, it's just the hat now. Edit prefab. You open up a new window. Combo editor. This looks like a lot of words. This is going to be easy to figure out. So what you want to do is mesh object. This will be just the object you see in the Blender and stuff. So you want to click right here. Close Arma Reforger right there. Go to your folder where your stuff is. Go to Assets, Characters, Headgear, Test Hat. Test ground. You don't want to use your rigged one. You want to use your ground model. You want to go down. The base loadout cloth component. You want to scroll down. So worn model is what your character's going to be wearing in game. So you want to use your hat, your one that's rigged. So you want to use that. Then item model will just be your ground model. So we go back. Test ground. Control Shift saved. It probably won't show up right now, but if it doesn't show up in here, this little test area, you can just right click on it and break prefab instance, which will break it and it will allow it to be its model form. Now if I go to prefabs, it might still be this. Just refresh your thumbnails. It works. I don't know why it's not. Let me save it. Make sure. It might take a minute. It's usually slow on it, but it's been fixed now, so it's all good to go. Let me make sure before I do anything. Alright, yep, it's all good to go. Alright, from here you don't want to touch anything else. You're good to go. If you want to rename it in game, this is where you're gonna go to inventory, item component, and this is where you're gonna rename stuff. So this is where you give it a description. This is where you're gonna give it like a name. So I'm gonna name it test hat. I'm gonna call it tester. And down here is where you can do the sizes. So right now it's a 2x1. It could be 2x2, 3x3, that type of stuff. And with slot type, it's always gonna be vest. There's no helmet slot. So you're gonna save that. What you're gonna want to do now is to see if it works in game. So we're gonna go to load world, and you get all these Arma Reforger stuff. You want to go MP test. This is the test area. It's the fastest one that's gonna load for you to be quick, like that. So now you're in this giant plane with lighting above you. Want to take that prefab right here that you made, drag it in here. You're gonna see it's maybe so you can break it here. So you just break the prefab if it's not still working, and let's see. There's our ground model right there. You can bring it up, change it around. So there's our model game. What you want to do up top is you want to go up here. Make sure you're playing from camera position. Want to press play. So now you're in the game as a normal US soldier, yada yada. So I usually just throw off all the gear, so I have nothing that's on me. If I come over to the helmet, you can see you can pick it up or equip it. So if I equip it, there it works in game. It's on the head. So if you have issues where your gear is just, let's say, this is the model, if it's just turned around backwards, just floating, that means your bones are not set up correctly, or you don't have enough right around bones. So you're all good to go now. So this is it working in game. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick little test and show you guys how to do arsenal stuff. I was gonna make a separate video, but I might as well just combine them both so you guys can just get through it. So we're gonna come back to our Infusion workbench, make sure everything's Control-Shift-Save, make sure everything's saved. Now you want to make an arsenal so you can grab your new item from the game. So instead of just having to spawn it in, it'll spin Zeus. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to Arma Reforger. We're gonna go to Configs, Arsenal. These are all the arsenals. I usually go through each one. You can choose which one you want to put it in, but I would put it in all. So you just take this, right-click, override, and test helmet for video, which is gonna be the video. So now we have our override script. Double-click on it. You see all this type of stuff in here. This is currently what's all in our US Arsenal. So we're going to go up to the top here, press plus, it makes a new slot. So now what you want to do is you want to go down, click on the button right here, item resource name, and make sure they go to prefabs. So this is our hat that worked in game. Okay. So there's an issue. So you can choose what you want to put it in, it doesn't really matter, but there was an issue with defaults, it looked like. So I've noticed that defaults don't work at the time, so what I'm going to do is just make an attachment, it won't affect anything, and just do Control-Shift-Save. Save that. So now if we go to our prefab, we go back to editing it, we go, oh, where'd it go? We go here, we go, you can, now that you have opened the world, you can do right here, Arma 3 Worlds, just open it up. Want to press play. This would get in game. You want to hold Y. Press tab, look up Arsenal. So we put it in the US Arsenal for now. Pop it down, hold Y again, go back in. And if it should work, if we go to the last page of the Arsenal, there it is. It'll rename stuff when you publish and stuff. So boom, pick it up. Sometimes it'll be broken where you have to drop it on the floor. Then you could pick it up. What the hell is it doing? There's a couple issues with the Infusion engine where it doesn't register some stuff, but don't worry, you just keep at it and just refresh stuff. Eventually it'll work. It's really finicky engine. I am not a big fan of some of the stuff it doesn't do. But if you break it, it'll work again. Let's see if I can save it and load it. Let's see if I load it again if it'll work. It's really jank with how it works. I hate it. But trust me, when you upload it, it'll probably be working. Why is it not working? This engine's really finicky. Well, you saw it works. It doesn't matter. there's a lot of issues with this right now. I don't know why it doesn't work half the time. It should just work, but it's just it's refusing to right now. Infusion's a wacky engine. There's some stuff. Let me just make sure. Probably have to restart your project. Who knows? But for now, that's how you put a new helmet in game. If you have any questions, I'm on Discord. Just message me. It's pretty easy to figure out. There's a lot of videos out there on how to weight paint, you know, all the type of jazz. But I'll be putting the new skeleton, the body I use, then anything else that's required that I think you guys would need will be in the description of the video, so you guys can just take that easily. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make new videos coming out after these. After this one, that will be focused on like making gear, making vests, backpacks, shoes, all that stuff. And also how to replace grenades and actual props in the game, so you can replace the map with whatever you want, the compass with whatever you want. Easy peasy. I'll show you guys how to do that. Make your own. I mean, it'll be actually your own map item or such item. So from there, I'll see what videos I can do and what I can help you guys with. If you have any questions, just ask in the YouTube comments or just ask in the Arma 3 Reforger section of the Discord, and I'll answer you whenever I can. It's Widow 2964. Just feel free to ask anything you need.